Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of the Cleaning Business Mentor Podcast. I am sitting here with three very special guests. I have Miss Jody Carroll, who is from PX3 Property Maintenance. We have my two guests here that you guys have seen before in previous episodes. We have Mr. Angel Sandoval and Mr. James Harper, and we are here with the actual podcast group for The Profitable Cleaner. So you guys make sure you check out their podcast, give them a follow, YouTube, Spotify, all of the streaming platforms. But this is awesome. So we are actually in Dallas, Texas, and we were here for a podcast for James and Angel. Thank you guys for inviting us. And we decided to do an impromptu little mini podcast so that you guys can hear more about their event that is coming up in this September. So thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
I love the crossover. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
This is really neat. No, this is awesome. So what I do is I love to promote events within the cleaning industry because there are a lot of cleaning business owners who are looking for mentors, looking for people to work with, people like you guys. And I think this is a great opportunity to spread some awareness about this amazing event that actually Jody was the first person to give me some actual really great feedback about. And she's been raving about it, so.
Ooh, thank you, Jody.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So really quickly, just please introduce yourselves for those that have maybe not seen our previous podcast together. Yeah.
I'll let the popular one go first. Apparently, I lost by just a couple hundred views. Just kidding.
James Harper, connector, initiator, provider. Also honored to be a friend, business partner, and co-host with Angel Sandoval here for The Profitable Cleaner. And we get to rock out with a cool event with cleaning profits.
Yep. Angel Sandoval here, man of God, challenger, connector, and provider. Same friend, business partner, and co-host with Mr. James Harper. And we get to put together an event called Cleaning Profits. That's P-H-E-T and then a money sign. So it's profit with a money sign, not profit, like F-I-T. We get to put that together. It's been super fun. First year we had 55 people. Second year 100. And this year 300 is what we're projecting right now. So
that's amazing.
But we have a feeling it might be more now. But we're just going to stick with 300 for now.
No, that's awesome. And you guys have the podcast, which is amazing. And they have other businesses that tie into the cleaning industry. I'll be sure to link down all of their social links and the different businesses that they have. But today in particular, we're going to talk about the Cleaning Profits event because it is a highlighted event of the year.
Whoa.
For sure. For me, anyway, this is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. Like, no shade to anybody else, but I am most looking forward
100%.
to, your event because, again, Jody had so many great things to say. And not just Jody, but a lot of the other women that I come into contact that had the opportunity to go to your event. So, Jody, what was your take on the Cleaning Profits? Because you had me totally sold.
So
Thank you. Woo.
I know in our podcast we had talked about the fact that I'd missed the first one because my mom being ill, I wasn't able to travel. But the second one, hands down, like I said, it was a mic drop moment for me because I really looked at myself as to what type of leader I was and how I was leading. And a lot of it was more, I think it's probably the best event that you could go to learn about yourself and your business more so than any of the events that I've attended. So like when I look in comparison to things, yes, there's networking and there's stuff that goes on there, but there was team building. There was, there was some hard talks. There was a lot of tears. There were a lot of things that we did together cohesively that built more of a network also, but it was the value that they brought was really, really top notch.
Very much different from a lot of the other events, right?
Yes, absolutely 100%.
So the events that I usually have attended and I haven't been to, I would say under 10, it's a lot of focus on how to find more customers or how to bid a proposal or, certain like workshops like that. But what I got from going on to your YouTube and the website, it did seem a lot more personal. It seemed like a lot more like soul searching. And like Jody said, people were getting emotional. And I feel like that is something that I have never experienced before. So I've never really done anything like that. So that was like really cool to see. And I feel like a lot of cleaning business owners, or a lot of business owners in general in
Yes.
this industry, I feel like there's a big lack for that. There's a lot of, business and systems, but not a lot about personal growth or mindset or spirituality or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
See, I agree with that, because one of the things that really gets us like riled up is when we're watching people trying to sell something all the time. They want to sell you something. They want to sell you the newest software. They want to sell you this or that. I feel that your event was able to provide content, and it wasn't just the person behind that content. That person actually took the time to like really kind of give a little bit of themselves and what makes them special and what they're doing to your audience, to each and every one of us. So yeah, they are there because they're able to promote, whether it's mentoring or whatever they're doing. But it was at a level that I had not seen in the industry before. And that's why I tell you, like, my hat's off to you with what information was shared.
Thank you.
I appreciate
definitely not, as much as I would love to take credit, definitely God first on all of this. Like it's my business partner here has a line that he says, illogical moments lead to logical faith. And everything that we've done is illogical. There's nothing logical. Like, we've been in software. We know how he's been in He's got 2 companies acquired, marketing. I'm in tech and SaaS. We're gonna probably create a marketing in an agency just in SaaS or an event in that space. But I don't know. We were somehow in this industry, and so it's all illogical. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes all the sense in the world because of the faith that I think that we have, that I know that we have for God. So it's been very fun. Somebody asked us in our event, like, why are you dropping God so much? And I'm like, well, one, because my event. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was like,
I owe it all to him.
I was like, bro, because you have all of these are executives and people with multi-million-dollar companies in the cleaning space coming to learn from us. I'm like, that makes no sense. There's no sense. And that's why we take a lot of pride in the experts that we bring, because it's not about us at the end of the day. It's what they can bring to you. And we make it very, like, serious when we talk to them. We'll give you guys some sneak peeks. Like, we do meetings with every speaker. So, like, we have our event on September 24th to the 26th, Denver, Colorado.
Right.
September 24th, 26th. This agenda with the speakers was finalized over a month ago.
Wow.
Right? That was February. I already knew who was speaking, and I was just making some small changes. And the team, shout out Andrea, executive director, she does all of it from Spain. Then I had a meeting already with all of them. And I'm like, whether you're speaking in other events or not, if you're speaking in mine, these are this is the expectations, right? This is what people are expecting from you on stage. This is who's going to be there. And but we never tell them what to talk about, which most events don't do that. Most events will tell them what to do, but we're big believers in God will provide the content to our people. So I never saw Fernando's presentation. I never saw anyone's presentation last year.
And that was amazing.
I just showed up and I was like, oh.
Seriously. Yeah. To see the depths of which he's come from to build what he built. That's a double clap mentality right there.
Clap.
Two clap.
You'll learn.
You see, I'm missing out on these insiders.
Yeah.
I want to clap with.
You can do
you don't clap until September.
We do this thing in the event where to reset the room, me or James will yell, 2 clap, and then everybody will go, bang.
Okay.
And you'll do that throughout the whole event.
I mean, it gives energy, it builds connection, it resets the room, it grabs attention, and then also it's fun. And at the end of the day, we're there to build community, but also be intentional. So and we also want to celebrate and honor the people that stand up and share. Yeah. We want to celebrate and honor the speakers, the attendees, because you were there. There's a lot of engagement from the attendees. It's not just PowerPoint presentations and all of that. And I think intentionality just goes a long way. And you're talking about personal development and why people are attracted to that. It's because we realized early on, not in the cleaning space, just in business in general, but you will never outgrow your business. So many people rely on their business to propel them forward, when really it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You have to propel the business forward. So in order for you to do that, you have to develop a mindset. You have to develop calluses. You have to develop a community. You have to develop this. Yeah. What'd you say? Love. Yeah, exactly. Love. And just like this framework for success personally, and implement that into a behavior. And then all of a sudden things start happening professionally.
Did you go to the workout?
I did not.
You didn't go to the workout, right? We have yet to talk about the workout. We do morning workouts. This time around, we got a green beret to lead it, and it was very fun. Like we'll do random things like that. We'll have a good time. The dinner was fun. Like everything was.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. That location was just.
Yeah.
And like little teepees, and we got to wear a little hat.
Yeah.
I say little hat, but when you see the picture, it like has horns. Like it was a whole
smoke some cigars. Yeah.
We got to all smoke cigars together, drinks, and
I think it's just surrounding yourself with like people and unique experiences, and I think it goes back to like why were like their tears flowing, why were people like so bonded in it. It's because when you go through something with someone, you come out on the other side with the togetherness. So if you bring your team, if you come to this event, bring someone on your freaking team. And I'm going to tell you that because you're going to go through something. And then guess what? You're going to go through something with Carolyn, with Jody, with Angel, with me. And then a year later, look at this. Like, I feel more connected to you
100%.
because I saw you in that circle.
Saw a different side of you.
Right? I feel more connected with Carla, who we just interviewed, because we just talked. She's been to every one of our events. And we're like, look at your freaking transformation. Not because of us, because of you.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you've surrendered to the process.
Yeah.
See, that's what I liked about the fact that with the groups, even though if you came with your people, with your team
Y'all
or
came
whatever,
with your people. Yeah.
they segmented. So like it was meant to put you in an uncomfortable spot. It was meant for you to grow roots and to sprout into different groups and just to learn and absorb and challenge yourself.
Yeah.
And not stay where you're always comfortable, because growth happens when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations and when you challenge yourself. And if you always stay in that same road all the time, you're not going to grow like you can if you challenge.
Yeah, at one point we we noticed that people were segmenting themselves into like their team, because people bring their teams.
Right.
And I made people get up. I remember like
Musical
going
chairs.
table by table, and we're like, you move over
Yes.
here. Who are you? Okay, perfect. Move here. Yeah, golf made everybody move. Like he gave everybody a different bandana.
Yeah, I like
so
that
like
concept.
everybody was so like
Mixed.
And then you had to
Yes.
create a team with strangers.
literally everything was about team. So
Yeah.
it was really beautiful.
It was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
What
so you
questions
said,
do y'all have, or
Actually, yes.
curiosities about our event? We'll give your audience any sneak peek
For-
that you
for
want
sure.
that no one
So
else.
I definitely want to get into the event. Before we do that, I want to get into, James had mentioned, and I hear you say this a lot also, Angel, the intentionality that you guys have behind everything. So before we get into all of the things of the event, why did you guys decide to do this? So what was your intention behind this? Because I know that it's amazing what
The
you're
event.
doing. Yeah, the event itself. So what is the intention behind that?
My first answer is like, really, I don't know.
Question.
Like going back to like how things just happen,
Right.
and sometimes they're unexplainable.
Yes, I totally get that.
So
Right.
speak year
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Year one. And
Year-
why
let's-
why did we create the year
Yes.
one?
All right,
Year
I'll
one.
give you guys some juice here. Year one.
Oh,
Well,
God.
I'll give you guys some stuff that's never been heard before.
Oh,
Profitable Cleaner was starting to take off, and we actually did get a lot of good feedback. Like, hey, we would like to like have all your guests in a room or something like this. Angel is big into masterminds. He'd spend $20,000 a year to be in rooms, and that's not even an exaggeration. And so he was not in the cleaning space, but just
Right.
in the business and brotherhood space. So he was doing that. We're getting this feedback. And I don't know why, but I always go back to our first conversation with Ernesto Moreno when we had him on our podcast. I remember thinking, like, kind of going back to what Rocky on our show was talking about, like, why am I qualified to be talking to this guy? Why? I remember thinking, like, this guy runs $15 million company, has this badass family, badass brand, and he's sitting here just spitting game to us like we've never heard before. And he introduces us to his badass daughters and all of this stuff. And then Angel's like, we got to make a power move. We have to make a power move.
Well, let me give you even more insight.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so we've never shared this. I don't think we ever have. Well, because we never
exclusive.
interviewed. So there you go. Woo! By the way, you have a podcast? No, I'm just kidding. In that, so within this time frame, two things happen. We become what it was called day porter back in the day. Day porter says, hey, we need to really learn the industry, so we create a podcast because that was the best way for us to learn. Let's go interview the people that know.
Yeah. Talk
Out
to
of
you guys.
nowhere,
Right.
Profitable Cleaner starts taking off. Day porter is just kind of not doing anything, but we live off of Day porter, not Profitable Cleaner. If anything, a podcast when you started, all the time actually, it costs more money than what it makes
Right.
for a couple years. And then we're like, dude, we're about to like go broke. We're about to go under. This was 2 years ago, and we had like how many employees? Like 2, 3?
No, we had like 5.
No, but then we let go of a few.
I don't know. We had a small team.
So we have a super small team. We're trying to live off of it. I'm having to take consulting gigs. He's taking consulting gigs just to like get
Right, manage
going.
it.
And then I remember sitting outside and we went to Denver and it was your son's birthday and we created Day Porter and then we went to our other event. There was only a few events. We went to an event and we paid a booth with Day Porter. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the event and I'm just paying. That's where we met Jody and that's when we met y'all. And we're sitting there and as soon as we get in the plane, I'm like,
We can do
Day
it.
Porter's not making money. Profitable Cleaner's taking off. We have to do something. But we have to do something big because people won't believe. Like, who are you guys in the industry? That's what we did find out. No one knows who we are, right? And I went to the event and then we talked and we're like, I'm like, I can bring what I know from the mastermind, and I think we can make something bigger and better.
And we've always both had like a connection with people,
Right.
and like getting people in the same room, and like that's one of our talents is we're both connectors, and so like it kind of speaks to our ability. We fucking risked our ass to pull off event number 1. If I'm being dead ass serious,
That's
Event
amazing.
1, we were what, 20 grand in debt?
Yeah, 20,
Met a
30?
minimum?
No, it was 35.
And we had payroll a week after
You
that.
can tell James the numbers.
We had like payroll like a week and a half after that. We looked at our account and like everyone's like joining the event, walking in, and I'm looking at James, he's looking at me, and we're like, if we don't walk out with clients and if people don't buy into what we're doing right now,
This is it.
we're screwed. Like we will literally be screwed. We'll have to like go back to a job while we build this. And luckily the transformation was beautiful. Everybody was responsive. It was beautiful.
Well, kudos to you guys,
so
because-
shout out to our clients.
Well, shout out to
Y'all
the
kept us
clients,
alive.
but you guys too. That's like a really awesome story. Thank you for sharing that with us because that was very personal. But like, I love that. It's like it goes to the entrepreneurship, right? It's like back against the wall. Like you said, we're juggling one business to fund the other one. And you guys, on a whim, came up with a really great idea and it worked out
It
beautifully.
was fully from God. The name, I have no clue how we came up with the name. Like it was just a download that he gave us. And he's just like, you got to do it. And I still remember I have a crazy idea. And when we're sitting there, I'm like, bro, I know we don't have any money, but I think we need to throw this event.
So it started with a vision,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
For
then
sure.
you've seen that vision may not have been able to be the vehicle to get you where you needed to be. So you pivoted
Yeah. Well,
and you pivoted.
yeah.
And here we
That's
are,
right.
year 2 coming in.
We're on our way to year 3 now. Yeah.
I'm fast forwarding because this
Yeah.
is only my second.
Going in.
Yeah.
But so year 3, the vision has changed.
Yep.
The vehicle has changed. The businesses have been rebranded.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we taking the vision this year?
Okay.
Well, I'll say this. So going back to event 1, because I'll always be forever grateful for that first event. 1, it was like honestly one of the hardest things I've ever done. I've been,
I'm so stressed out.
dude, I've been in business. This is my 12th year in business, right? And I've never like really lost in business. And this was the first time like I was like, we could fucking lose big.
Right.
Excuse my, I'm not
No,
even
no,
sure
you're
if I
fine.
could cuss.
Yeah, we're like,
I was like, we could lose big. And then like also like I was like a piece of shit husband leading up to the event. Like I was fighting with my wife. And
Well, that stress brings a lot of
totally. And like 12 years ago, I made this promise, like, hey, I'll never let business get in between our relationship. I've always honored it. There was 1 month that's happened. It was November of
Right before the
2022. Absolutely. Angel was moving out from Denver He like literally like 2 days before the event, he moved from Denver to Houston and flew back in for the event. And we're all stressed, $2,000 in the bank account, payroll in 5 days. And oh, by the way, we have 55 badass CEOs showing up to this room to listen to us that we've never freaking met before. Again, who are we? Right now, so then you fall to what you know.
And that's why the theme was standards. Standards. Because we needed to we needed to bring a standard to the industry, to the event in the industry. Then year 2, it was the statement. So we were putting our flag year 2. We were saying, hey guys, we're just to let you know we're here to stay. And so that's why the venue changed, the speaker lineup changed. That's why the food, the dinners,
the attendees changed.
Yeah, and so the first intention, let the people know that we were here.
Right.
Like, test us, please. And they did.
And
you guys
we
had
delivered.
a great response.
And we delivered. There was magic made in that room. I knew walking out of that event, like at that point, so a 3-day transformation for me, going in with this scarcity mindset because of everything that was happening logistically and financially. By the time we were walking out, I didn't give a shit if we made any money. I literally had no idea.
You felt
You
good
knew
about
you were
it.
changing.
Yeah.
You
Well,
were
yeah.
making an
At the end of the day, at least we could walk away, even if we lost 35 grand, and say, yo, these people, these 55 people that gave up time with their family, their businesses, multi-million-dollar companies, they at least were like, this was worth it.
Well, they
So,
believed in you.
And I
Yeah.
made
And
so
they
many
showed up.
friends, too.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
I
made
still
so
remember
many friends.
We were doing the hot seat, and I still remember I shout out Aniela. I still remember she's up there and she's so nervous because, I mean, English is not her first language. And then she
does it amazingly
going
well,
and
yeah.
she's great, yeah.
And she's a badass CrossFitter. It's beautiful. Like, she goes up there and she's just so nervous. And then we all start hyping her up. But then we start getting very personal, very real. I still remember very vividly her scene because she starts crying, but like in a freeing way. And then like we all just go, like we all start going and hugging her. And I was like, bro, that's why we're here. Like, the
That's
money
amazing.
don't matter. Like, that right there, if we were to go under, at least one person, like, she was able to
Yeah,
deliver it.
exactly.
And y'all didn't get to go through hot seats. It was a whole day.
Yeah.
Told me, she was like,
Of Juan just
That's only
Oh.
that will always stay sacred to event 1, just due to the size of it.
Logistics, yeah.
But with that being said, it goes to what happened with event 2, which you experienced. Was we came out of that with a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence. What happened to Day Porter at that time, which is now Power Placing, all of a sudden, like, our standard within that business leveled up. Profitable Cleaner was already kind of riding a high. And then the second event, we took on a partner and a mentor because he attended that event. He believed in us. And the second event was just like, boom, we're making our statement because we know who the fuck we are. We're going after it. People believe in us. We believe in us. Let's go for it. And let's just be our authentic selves.
Yeah.
So like the second event, anytime you host an event, there's naturally a little bit of nerves. The second event was like, to me, like, so freeing.
Yeah.
It was just like, I felt like we were finally us. So like you saw, I think, the real version of who we are.
That's beautiful. And that's all from working through that first event and leading up to that second.
100%. So if you're like an entrepreneur listening to this, like, you have to get to a tipping point. Like, you guys have been there. We've been there. Like, you get to a tipping point in business where they call it the point of no return. Like the old saying, like,
burn the ships.
Exactly. Burn the ships.
ships.
There's no turning back. You
Burn
have
the
to get to
ships.
that. So if you have not got to that tipping point, if you have not burnt a ship yet, then it's time to burn some sort of ship. So there's no point of return, and you might fail, but odds are you're going to fail and then succeed, or actually just succeed.
It was like, it's funny, in the first event, I was riding a high, obviously. We were riding a high. And in front of everyone, I was like, we'll see you guys next year.
No, you said we'll see you in 6 months.
I know, I messed that one up. Did it a year after. We're going to stick with September for a while. But we, like, committed to the next one. And then people were like, again, they cried, hot seats. We all prayed together. There was a lot going on. So I was like, damn, now we got to surpass that. And so now we just get bigger, like, just better. Not even bigger. I don't care about the size of it. It's just better. The experience just has to be better. Like, we both take it very, very, very seriously in what comes out of it. Like, we're so intentional. That's why when people are like, oh, can I have the agenda beforehand so I can see speakers and so I can see who's speaking? I'm like, we're one of the only companies, we never release agendas. You'll never see us release an agenda or the order of the speakers, ever. Because it's so intentional. From the moment you walk in, I already know like what we want you to feel, how we want to encounter you, who's going to be first, why is that first, why is that second, why is there a break here? Like everything is so intentional that we don't release it because we don't want people to cherry pick and be like,
Yeah,
right?
Maybe
and
I'll
that's why
come
we
in a
always
little
say,
bit
like,
later.
if you come to our event, you drop money.
And that does
Oh, they
happen.
totally.
Yeah.
People definitely.
And
do
that's
that.
why we have a money back guarantee. I don't know if any other event has like if you
Never
come
heard
and
of
you
that.
attend from day one on time every day until you leave, and you tell me I learned nothing,
I
or
got
no
z- I
transformation,
got no value.
like this sucked, I will personally wire you the money that you spent. for the
Like right
ticket.
then and there.
I wouldn't even ask
Yeah.
questions.
For anybody listening, if you guys pick that up, literally they are giving you a guarantee that you're going to walk away
100%.
Yeah.
with something.
The
As
only
long as
thing
you participate from minute
Right.
one and all the way through, because it's so
the only
methodical.
the only thing is you just have to have that awkward conversation with us. So, but and we won't even make it awkward. But like, listen, it's just like
I highly doubt though that you guys will ever run into
no,
an issue like
and
that.
and honestly, we don't even care about that. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We don't make money from the event.
Right.
Money every time.
We've literally lost a little bit of money every single time. But what we do make is we make friends, we make connections, we
Right.
continue, and that leads to opportunity. When you know good
Right.
people,
Right.
Right.
you do good business,
100%.
right?
100%.
And that was actually something that I want to talk about. It's very impressive because hearing the story, how you guys went from the first event to the second event, you guys have been able to attract, like from the very beginning, like you said, Mr. Moreno, like, oh my God. So from the beginning, there is something, very special about the both of you, something that is magnetizing to very genuine people, by the way, because
thank you.
I have been able to, go through the website. I've seen people posting, and these are all people that I've seen in passing, or I know, or better yet, that I want to know, right? And I want to do business with and be more like. And it's like, damn, have these guys, like, they know all the somebodies,
So
you
you
know?
went from 0 to like 600
not even from
without.
zero, but like,
No, it was definitely zero. We
well,
knew
it
that
was zero, negative, right?
We knew
Almost.
iconic clean. Shout out. Iconic.
What's up, Andrew? Who knows no one?
But you guys
One
got so many
person.
big names and so many like big businesses. Like I said, these are people that if you guys are listening and watching this,
I have no clue how we got them.
their event, I personally want to be there, and I felt FOMO last year because of the names that were in there, the cleaning business owners, the coaches, the speakers, because these are the type of people that I want to be more like, that they're at the level that I wish to be at one day. And I think that's
Yeah.
really important.
I mean, I can tell you how we got some of them if you want, but it's just
Well, I'm sure
We're-
it's you guys being you.
So
Yeah,
let's-
it's just- we're
let's
just
put you on the
Yeah.
spot here for
Yeah.
a second. So, like speaking, what level of entry to attend your event would you consider a cleaning business to be able to do? So like you're not going to, I don't say discern that a company's not large enough to attend, but what kind of companies do you feel that should be looking to attend your event as far as size of revenue? Because we're gonna get nitty gritty here. So as far as size of revenue, maybe problems that they're having, could be maybe size of their employees, different types of business models.
Is there an avatar? Yeah.
So watch. I got you guys. So why? Just so you guys get some context. So I went into my first ever mastermind. Just to give you guys context, was in San Diego. I was making $20K a year. I was $25K a year, and I was cold calling in a call center in El Paso, Texas, right, for a tech startup. And I'm not talking that this was a long time ago. It was like 5 years ago at most, right? And at most. And I remember I was going through it, and I got let go, and I became a server at Red Lobster. What? And I had a college degree. Graduated very early at 20 years old from college. Like, I was ready. And now I'm a server at Red Lobster. And I remember a guy, Nicholas Barely, shout out Nicholas Barely, messages me on Messenger. He's like, you should come to my event. And I'm like, bro. And I had just paid off my credit cards. You know that feeling that you're like, oh, no debt.
Relief.
And he's like, yeah, but the ticket's $800. And I'm like, bro, I can't do that. He's like, you can't or you don't want to. And I'm like, well, okay, hold on. I don't want to because I just paid it up. And he's like, would your life be better off if you stayed the way you are or if you just give it a shot and go to an event? And I'm like, well, that's a I'll just got to go to the event, right? and during this time, I was just so messed up mentally. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. So I $800 on a credit card. I'm not making any money. I'm about to go into a server, but I was like, I have to do something. And then flights to San Diego, not cheap, from El Paso, Texas. And I'm reading his book as I'm doing that, and I'm like, there's a part that says there's only one group of lions that can hunt hippopotamuses, and they run together, and they're in the. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to go VIP. If this is what it says, I want to go VIP. So I'm like, I text them in the plane, I pay for internet, and I'm like, yo, I know there's only 2 tickets left. Save me one. Here's my card. Like, I'm over here, just run it up. I only have $300 left, so run it up, right? And that event changed my life. And I was hanging out with millionaires, and they were so graceful to me. And they're like, so what do you do? And I'm like, dude, right now I don't know anything, so I'm just here to learn. And then they're like, oh, perfect. Until now, they're all my friends now. But now I've reached their level. Some I've surpassed, some I've reached. So do we have an avatar? No. Do we have... There's different sizes. I will say the average company first year was about like $1 million no, probably less, probably like 500K.
No, it was more. I know the number.
On year one?
Year one.
What's year one?
I think it was like 2.6 million was the average.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because it's skewed.
Yeah, I mean,
because one of them's $50 million in that.
Yeah, 50, 13, and 15 skewed everything. And then year 2, we're probably like about 8 million. And year 3, we're projected like about 10. I think I would say, like the average size.
Right. If you add everybody.
I'll tell you this though.
But sorry, just to close out my point here, what I was gonna say is, it doesn't matter the size to me.
Right.
Exactly.
It really doesn't, because if I would have not put myself there back then, and I would have not known what was next.
100%.
And in that event, I met God too, because I was like, well, these guys have businesses and they don't get
100%.
stressed, and they're like, yeah, because of God. And I was like, oh, what? So that's why I'm like, dude, I can just bring this over to an industry that needs it. And so we had some people that had just started
100%.
and others that are like the 100 million. Like this time around, we've got even bigger players coming, and it's going to be a great time.
So you heard that first, that, it can be anyone that has.
So you're just starting,
space.
100%.
Yes.
We want to welcome you, because like, honestly, I don't really give a shit about the company. I care about the individual.
Right.
Yeah.
And because the individual makes the company. So if you have like a desire within your soul for something more, or you have a growth mindset, then I want to welcome whoever with open arms, so they can be around great people like you guys and others, and you guys can experience that fellowship. Like, I mean, I think
if you're like the small ones, there's big players looking for subs. Just so you guys know, they go in there. Now, I know a lot of my companies, like a lot of my clients, they do business with my other clients. And we get to be the introduction. Oh, hey, I met this guy. And then they're like, oh, you're part of the profits? Oh, cool. And then
and by the way, like, we don't get paid for that.
Yeah.
We don't want to get, like, it's just like, hey, oh, Jody, you need so-and-so. Like,
and that's the beauty of networking. Yeah,
exactly.
And that is the beauty of networking. Even like Angel had said, him not being able to afford that ticket, but he couldn't afford not to go.
Yeah.
And that was the same case with the very first cleaning event that I went to. I did not have the money. I had to use a credit card. I was nervous about spending $1,000 at the time. And I was so happy I did, because I was able to see, okay, there's a community out there of fucking awesome people that want to help you, that I want to be like. And now I see like your event as that like next level for myself anyway, because just of the people that you attract.
The best example for that, and then they're all humble. They know what we run, like how we run. So you're not going to come in here and talk about how successful you are and how we don't do that. And we set the stage very straight from the beginning. Right. And so like one of the best examples, shout out Carlos Tellez. Carlos Tellez, CEO, right now is the CEO of Ambassador. Over 70 million. Like, they're big players. But he's so humble. And I remember they were talking about one of the companies there, and he was like, man, I look up to them. And then me and James were like, what, dude, you do like a bunch of money. They were like 5 million, 3 to 5 million. And he's like, no, but you got to understand, I remember being at 3 to 5 million. I would not go back to what I was doing back then. So like, I respect what they're doing, and they're doing it different.
In their mindset.
And then like now they're just talking about, hey, don't forget, now that you're here, now you got to look at tax laws. Now you got to look at this. Now you got to, blah, blah, and then they're smoking a cigar, having a good time. Like,
that's amazing.
That changes everything.
Yeah, totally. No, it's been awesome, and I can't wait for year 3.
No, we're super excited. Yes,
I'm
please.
excited for you to
Let us
experience
know
it.
about this, the one that is coming up September 24th through the 26th. For those that are listening, what do you guys have in store for year 3? I am most definitely going to be there. If not a sponsor, on my own, absolutely. I'm planning on bringing my kids as well.
Hell yeah.
You know,
That's
16
a
and
question
8.
we want to ask you guys. You
Yeah,
guys think
put it in the
bringing,
comments.
the listeners and y'all, do you think bringing a 16-year-olds and up, like family, if we were to open up a section for that, do you guys think that would be
For
beneficial?
like
absolutely.
young leaders.
I mean, I'll tell you for
Young
myself,
prophets.
my son just graduated early. And he's been working in the business. Not only is he helping with Power X3, but he's also working to merge this new product in the United States. You can see, like,
And he's killing it.
Coach Burt, was talking about finding your talents in your children early. I'm missing his senior wrestling banquet today as we're sitting here. And I'm sacrificing that. I feel a little guilty in
Sure.
some ways, but Stuart understands what we're doing. He understands the bigger picture. And like you saying, like, hey, bring him. Like, dude, like that's going to be mind blowing for him for the opportunity, one. And for me to see he's me, but he's me at 18 years old. He's me driven. He's me with talents that he's going to take. And like, I think it's going to be a life-changing event for him to pour into himself, for him to gain some confidence to say, look, I can dream big. I watched my mom do it. She may have exited her life, later out of a career that she thought was going to be where she was going to stay, and she didn't, but she did all those things. I think it's an opportunity to really show our children what we can do and to dream. Yeah, I think it's really special.
Well, stay tuned.
And this
what we
industry
do.
has like a lot of
Generations, yeah.
generational businesses, right? And actually, we have like generational businesses within that's attended generational profit events now. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool to see.
I
so.
think it's going to be amazing. I think it would be a great idea. Just like Jody, I have my oldest daughter who's just coming into the business now. And, now that she's in college, she understands, okay, mom's actually doing something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had the opportunity to bring her with me to a Clean Biz Network conference last June. And I brought both my kids, and it gave them an understanding of why I'm not home all the time and why, mom is absent, but they got to see, okay, she's actually doing something. Like,
Yeah.
everybody knows her. Like, my mom's killing it. So it excited them. Like, it made them more proud of me as their mom. But I feel like this, if I were bringing them to this event, I think it would be amazing because
When you bring them to this.
when I bring them to the event in September, they are going to be more excited about their opportunities now.
Totally.
Because I always tell my kids, like we were hearing Coach Burt say, and I'm so glad that we attended that